mystery why we never had played music together before, but we're making up for it now. And so that night in Denton, first, when we went out on this tour, I thought, okay, I'll do a song, and Dave will do a song, and I'll do a song, and we'll talk, but almost immediately I was doing these old like folk kind of bluesy things and stuff that I used to do before I ever had a band or anything, that I just played solo. And Dave knew all of these songs. He knew all the things, these old songs that I knew, and most of them he knew better than I did. And but there was one. So now this first night, remember when this first happened, I didn't know the punchline. So I said, oh man, I just thought of this wonderful song that I just loved, that I learned from my old friend Steve Young, who was one of the best songwriters that came out of the whole thing. A lot of people said that he was the first outlaw musician, country musician, and maybe he was, I don't know, and maybe he wasn't. Everything's possible, but he was great no matter what. He wrote Seven Bridges Road. He wrote Lonesome Ornery in Maine, that was Waylon Jennings' hit. He was just great. He was just all around great. He was hanging out in Austin, and he and I got to be friends. And he had been a hero of mine. We got to know each other and started, we'd sit around. We never did perform together publicly, but we sat around the house and played together a lot. And one night, he said, Jimmie, I've got this song that I really want you to record. I want you to sing this song. And of course, I was flattered out of my mind. And he played it for me. It was just utterly beautiful. It was like, yeah, that's a song I need to do. But then, as now, I was a procrastinator. In this case, it took 25 years, or 30 or whatever it's been. And so I started playing the song, and the song's called Silver Lake. And which is where Dave actually lives. Well, at this minute, he lives in Ballard. But his house and his beautiful lady are in Silver Lake. And anyway, so I started playing Silver Lake, and kind of somewhere in the song, I kind of noticed that Dave was looking at me kind of funny, and he's playing the song with me. And sort of like that. Okay, now he has the rest of the story.
Okay, briefly. About 25 years ago, I was living right on the border between these two areas. One was called Silver Lake and one was called Echo Park. There's some pre-gentrification. You know what gentrification is, Ballard.
Oh, yeah, we do.
And Steve Young was living in Echo Park. And he'd come over to my house. We'd sit around, we'd play guitars, sing songs, and talk about stuff. And then we'd go get tacos at 1 a.m. And life was good. And one night, Steve comes over to my place and he says, Dave, I wrote this song for you. Now, let's fast forward 25 years into the future, and I'm sitting there in Denton, Texas, and Jimmie starts telling that story, then he starts playing this song, and I'm like, now Steve, in his early days, was a bit of a rabble-rouser and a troublemaker, but then he transitioned into becoming this very spiritual, cosmic, transcendental kind of guy, who was still a bit of a hustler. But then Jimmie Dale, being all-knowing and all-wise, put it in perspective when he said,
well, one day after Dave told me his part of the story, I said, Steve didn't tell me he wrote the song for me. He just said he wanted me to sing it. He wrote it for Dave. And so early this year, Dave and I recorded it together. Dave's song and I sang it. A holy city, baby, with the hills aglow. Looks like a holy city with the hills aglow. Oh, Silver Lake, worth more than gold. They got some Spanish angels, or they got a lot of soul. They got some Spanish angels, or they got a lot of soul. Oh, Silver Lake is worth more than gold. Oh, Maria, say a prayer for me. Put a candle in the window so that or saying a prayer for me. You know, boy, we can still go down there, find a place to stay. Or at least out the sunset sometime, find a place to rest his soul. Oh, Silver Lake, worth more than gold. Oh, Rosa Maria, say a prayer for me. Put a candle in the window so that jaded might see. Rosa Maria, for saying a prayer for me. Looks like a holy city where the hills aglow. Looks like a holy city with the hills aglow.